Hi group, how are you guys today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So last time, um, we talked about, I actually want to welcome everybody that is new to if anyone's new to the group, I want to welcome you guys. And thank you for coming. And I think this is a good first step if this is the first time that you guys are doing something like this. I'm proud of you guys for coming. And I think yeah, this will be good for everybody. So, last time we talked about bringing in um, something that reminds you of your loved one. And so everybody went around the room and shared. Does anybody want to kind of follow up on what they shared last time?
I brought a bracelet that my grandmother had given me, and I don't wear it. I keep it in the jewelry box. Always too afraid that I would lose it. Um, and sometimes it's just really hard when I like have it out. Um, or like I like just if I don't have it out, it's like out of sight, out of mind. And then if I do have it out, or I'm looking at it, or I'm wearing it, then I just think of her. So then I get sad,
Okay.
and I miss her a lot. Then
Does anybody else want to comment on that, or do they want to share their own experience?
I am. I also brought a piece of jewelry. I brought my grandmother too, her wedding rings. Before she died, she requested not to be buried with them. She wanted us to keep them kind of as an heirloom to hand down from generation to generation. And it was probably because my grandpa worked so hard to be able to get them for her. It was a really nice set. And I know that Carly was talking about that it makes her sad when she sees it kind of out of sight, out of mind. I get sad when I see them, but I put them in my jewelry box also. But I put them right next to my earrings. That way, every morning when I go to put on earrings, I see them. And I use it more as inspirational, as a way that I know my grandma would be proud of me, of what I'm doing and how my life is going. And it's kind of my inspiration to get my day going.
Okay.
There is times that they do make me sad to see, but I try to use it more as an inspiration.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. Thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else want to share?
yeah, I hope I can move closer to thinking of more positive things about my grandma one day. Well, about missing her and it not being like a sad thing, but maybe more of a celebratory thing, you know, where I celebrate, all the good memories that I have, but it just feels too sad now.
Right.
Well, and it's not something that I was able to do overnight. It's not like I just woke, well, my grandma died, so now I'm going to do this. It took me a long time to do it. It's a process, and you will get there.
Yeah, it takes time. I mean, it took me forever to get over it. I mean, I brought in my grandma's Bible that she had given me. It's a German Bible from when she got confirmed. And I mean, it's like Carly, out of sight, out of mind. But like flipping through it and like seeing her penmanship, and I mean, it's a tearjerker, but it brings back memories of when she was here.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else have any memories that it brings up for them? Like what other kinds of emotions does that bring up for you guys?
Loneliness, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like lots of, it brings up all the things that there's a void grandmas seem to be the people that the whole family's together and everything's centered around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like what all the what ifs now. Like, well, will we do that now? And then it just feels kind of lonely and empty when you think about that, because you don't see it ever being the same.
I agree with Carly. I think my grandma was like the center of our family, and now that she's gone and my grandpa's gone, it's just not the same. And I always feel like there's part of me that's missing since they've passed away. And I really miss them. There's days that I think something will happen and I think, I gotta call my grandma, I gotta tell her what happened. And so days like that are hard to get through, but I try to just live day by day. And it's hard to go on, but I think I'm getting to where I need to be.
I'm with both of you. Like, loneliness was a huge issue. I mean, it still is. Like, my grandma babysat me growing up. Like, she was there every day of my life. I mean, she lived around the corner from me. Like, 5 minutes, I would go over there all the time. And now that she's gone, like, I don't have that opportunity. And it's just like there's something missing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Okay. So now that we talked about what you guys brought and all of those emotions, what are some positive things that you can take out of this?
I think that I can continue in this in my journey of grief, and maybe a little bit of hope that if someone else can get to a place where they see things as more of a positive, and it's not such a bad thing, like to be sad, but more embracing kind of those emotions and looking at the positive things, kind of like Simi shared. I think that would be what I would hope to have.
I would just like to I would like to stop thinking about how worse off I feel now that she's gone. I would like to just feel like, because I feel like it's just an ordinary day for me to feel sad inside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd really like to get over that. I'd really like to get to the place where maybe it's because I haven't accepted it yet, but I'd like to get to the place like, this is what my day's going to be like. I'll recognize that I miss her and that I love her and that she was an important part of my life, but I don't want to dwell on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think dwelling is a huge issue with me. Like I mentioned, like she was there every step of the way. So like dwelling on the fact that she's not here anymore, I mean, it goes back to the whole void.
Okay.
It's easy to dwell on it.
And I just don't want to think about it ever.
Okay, so thank you guys for sharing everything. I think for next week, a good plan would be to maybe write down some of the emotions that you feel, whether that's like sad, or sometimes you have happy memories when you think of your loved one, or you're angry that they died, or anything like that. I want you to come next week with a list and maybe a little explanation of why you feel that emotion. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.